Okay, we're here.
Hey.
The podcast is back. I've been slacking, but it's okay. We got Brian Disney here. Welcome.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So what's up, dude?
Nothing. Just a nice morning.
Okay, we're drinking coffee. He came to the new spot. I've been trying to set up. I already lost all my mics. I don't know where anything is.
First pod in New Casa de Lu.
Yeah. It's been good, dude. What's up with you? You've been killing it.
Just staying busy.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
So first things first. You're killing it with the booking. Lulu's is great. Big ups to you because a lot of it's you. What's it been like?
It's been interesting.
How about this? Tell like how you kind of found this new gig, because I think it's kind of cool. Like your journey.
Yeah,
to it, you know.
I can jump back quite a ways. I spent probably 15 years in the music industry of just like sales and purchasing and
Right.
I worked at Taylor Guitars for a while and just like so between just production and I don't know, a bunch of back-end jobs. You know, I'd met all of these people and I would go to sessions and just kind of be that guy in the back that just sat around and watch people do their thing. And
But you're the drummer first for people that don't know. Like you're a musician.
yeah, and like I grew up playing a lot of different instruments, and in my early 20s I did sessions in LA for like music for TV and film. So I would just show up and work with all of these people and make songs, and they would then get pitched for anything really, and then 2 years later you get a check in the mail. You're like, oh yeah, I did this. So it was a cool experience to be a part of, but it was definitely one of those like who you know situations.
Okay.
But I worked in shops for a while, and then I had a job where I was just kind of working from home, doing some computer stuff and purchasing. And honestly, I didn't even really need a different job, but I just kind of had the idea of like, what else is out there?
Right. Is this when you weren't you at Pitbull? Or no, I'm confused. Was that you and Sean too?
Pitbull is where I met Sean.
Okay, that I'm not crazy. Okay, I was like, wait, am I thinking?
Sean was running guitar repairs there.
Right.
And I had, I guess, like a hybrid role where I would come in a couple of days a week and shoot the shit with Sean. But for the most part, it started as kind of like a COVID job, and I was just working from home. I would come in a couple hours a week and talk to the boss and get some notes, and then kind of go on my way and do the job.
Right.
So it became more of a hybrid role later as they started to lift stuff and
Right.
But I was working from home and just like looking for a new job, and I found specifically like an ad that they were looking for management for this restaurant group.
That's right. I remember now.
And I thought to myself, like, I worked in restaurants like when I was a teenager and like my early 20s. Like I did fine dining stuff. Like I worked in bars at a golf course. So like I get the gist, and like a change of pace would be cool, and the restaurant group is cool.
Did you know what the restaurant group was?
100%.
Okay, so you already knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had friends who had worked for bars and restaurants in the company, so I was, well aware of their projects.
Right.
So I put in a resume, and a day later I had an interview set up.
That's sick. Okay.
So they give me the address for the interview, and it's in the middle of North Park.
Oh.
And like this place isn't even open yet. And I open the door. I go there, and I was just like, this is Bar Pink.
Right.
And then I open the door, and it's not Bar Pink anymore.
And then for those who don't know what he's talking about, what's the name of that place? Jesus.
Part-Time Lover.
Part-Time Lover. Old Bar Pink. Not at all the same anymore.
Bar Pink was the place where you could get like a tall can of Tecate and a shot for $5.
Right.
Cash only. Just
play pool.
Pool tables in the back.
The
like
band,
it was, and it was the hang. And it was also like a really legendary spot to see some great punk bands.
Right.
And I played there myself a bunch of times, and so just opening the door, knowing what was on the other side before. And like, I just remember sitting down in the interview and apologizing for not being able to make eye contact because there's so much stuff to look at.
Well, yeah, now because when you go in there, it's crazy.
I'm just like, I'm just like floor to ceiling. I'm looking at all the lights and like, I'm really sorry, but this is not how I remember it being.
Right, because, yeah, we all remember. Yeah.
So we chatted a little bit and interview went good, but the guy iced me for probably like 2 weeks and I didn't hear anything, and then followed up and he's like, yeah, well, we want to make you this offer. And it was kind of the role to be like the AGM at this bar. So it was a better deal than I was making, and I kind of just went to the shop and I was just like, hey, I got this offer,
yeah.
And like, if you guys can match it or beat it, I'll stick around.
Right.
But otherwise, job's a job.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
And I'm just going to go try something else. And it ended up being a good decision for me. And I worked at that bar. And
you worked at part-time.
I worked at Part-Time Lover. And I
because you basically helped open it, right? Or what?
I got hired probably like 2 weeks after they opened.
Okay.
So I guess in a way I wasn't a part of the quote unquote opening.
Right, but
staff,
you helped like open the place up somewhat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For sure.
But it was cool, and I had a really good leadership team above me that, as someone who came in to apply to run a bar who only had music store or music industry experience, they gave me full free reins of anything that I wanted to do. Or if I had questions, it was like, hey, can I get your opinion on this? Or like just putting in systems and methods, and you learn from your lessons real quick. You figure out what works and what doesn't. And then I did that for about 1.5 years, and it was like a really quick transition, and it was much to my surprise, but there was some changes going on around the restaurant group, and I had a meeting with one of my bosses, and they said that they were just going to be opening this space.
Right.
And how it was told to me was that this was always going to be kind of like a private event space for the hotel. It was really
So you knew it was at Lafayette?
I knew, I knew it was at the hotel, it's funny because I had been down in that room.
Right, of course.
During construction of just like, hey, I need like these bar mats. Does anyone have it? They're like, oh, we have it in the basement of the hotel. Come grab it. And then you'd walk through and like you see the whole room and you're like, geez, what's going on here?
Oh, okay.
And they're like, well, it hasn't really been talked about yet. They're still remodeling.
Yeah.
I don't even think it had a name at that point.
Okay.
It wasn't even called Lulu's. It was just the basement.
Yeah.
So,
wait, and at this point, is the hotel already done?
The hotel was open.
Okay, so it is done already.
Yeah. The hotel is open. Lulu's didn't open for, at least 6 months. When the hotel reopened. It could have been longer. It was like a 1.5 years or just 6 months.
Okay.
But it was a quick transition from Part-Time Lover to Lulu's, and they told me this was always supposed to be a private event space, and then kind of last minute we just decided this is going to be a music venue.
Really? It was just like that? And who decided that? Like the head guy, head honchos?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Comes from above. But
so he was just there, whoever it is, they're just like,
I think they had probably made this decision a long time ago. And then there was discussions of like, what is this room going to look like? What's it going to be night to night? And how do we want to do it?
I see.
And then they just pulled me and they're like, Brian, you're going to figure it out.
Dude, that's sick that they just kind of were like, yo, you're going to do it. You're obviously doing something, right?
Yeah.
Or they saw, that's the thing is like, just because you're not like in that scene already, whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean you're not capable of doing it. And I feel like sometimes they put people that are like, well, I've been working in blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but you're blowing it. You don't know. Like,
I
feel like that's why you're good at it, is because you come from that other world and you're not just like, like some.
And it was nice going into Part-Time Lover because it was still music oriented.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think that's, but they were not expecting Part-Time Lover to do what it is doing.
Really? Like they didn't think it was going to be a hit?
They assumed it was going to be like a passion project and something that was just going to...
Oh, whoa.
And it
is a passion project, but it's like hitting.
Yeah, but it hit, and like it's just bonkers night after night. So like,
really?
You know, it kind of turned from this listening bar idea into, you know, they're just kind of...
I haven't been in a while, actually.
Yeah.
So what is it like now? Because, I mean, obviously it's the same. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I mean, like discos are like, or discos, weekends are like kind of like disco and boogie heavy.
Cool.
But Jason, who's over there, does a really good job of curating and getting a bunch of different styles and varieties and faces and people in there.
Yeah.
But you know, the weekend is really kind of focused to be a bit of a party and
it's cool,
to keep people there.
Yeah.
So, but it's very, very far from like what they would book for like a jazz night on a Monday.
Right. No, I get you.
So like someone playing Miles Davis Bitches Brew is not going to keep a lot of people there on a Friday or Saturday night.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not the. No, I get you. No, I see it. You know, I need to go and just chill. But do people like go? I guess because when I see it, I thought of like the whole like, I don't know if this is like a Japanese thing, but like I remember. Like, I feel like I started seeing these little, like...
I think at launch, that was the idea.
Okay.
It
has that vibe.
That was the inspiration behind a lot of it. And at a point, it was just kind of so busy. And I think some purists will see... And there's, like, a really good selection of Japanese whiskey. And you know, a lot of the decor is just very mid-century modern. So I think there's a lot of nods and the... audiophile purists will see that, but that's not necessarily like the everyday people who are going in there.
Which is fine. Yeah. No, that's cool because you can just go, and those people kind of get exposed to that. Anyway. See, that's one thing I do like about Lulu's though, because some people complain about it at the same time, which is whatever, it's fine too. But when you go there, it's like most of those people there probably wouldn't have known like, oh, like let's just say it's a jazz night or a whatever night. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But most of those people there probably don't know, like weren't there for the music in a sense. Or I don't know how you say that. How do you say it? Like,
it's interesting because you'll have, I mean, this past weekend was a cool night and a very good example of this because Zach Nature played, who was one of my first calls, and when I was selling gear at one of the shops that I worked at, like he was the guy that would just come in for necessities, you know, and sticks, heads, whatever.
Right.
And we just get to chatting for, 20 minutes or so. And he was always a super plugged person who came in and would just kind of talk about what he was doing, but was also just down to earth guy.
Yeah, he's just cool. Yeah.
Down to hang. And when we opened back up, he was one of those guys that I wanted to reach out to right away. And I said, hey, like, this is what we're doing. Like, would you be interested?
Yeah.
And gave him a date. And then he's like, hey, so-and-so's coming down. I got this person on the bill. I got this person. Day of the show, he's like, you won't believe who's coming. This guy's coming. It's like, so we had a night. He had like a star-studded cast. And the last song of the set, he just played kind of this like funk version of Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
And the place is mixed from like kids who just turned 21 who are there to like take pictures for Instagram and like people who are there to see the cast of people who we put on stage and just, middle-aged people maybe checking it out for the first time.
Right.
And this whole place is just dancing to Cherokee.
That's hilarious. That's tight, honestly.
And it's like an encore, and people are just losing their mind, and it's hilarious. And I'm just packing up, and I got a grin on my face, and wrapping cables, and I'm just like, I can't believe what just happened. But it's one of those places where you can get people who have no idea about this high level talent or like this high level jazz that's in San Diego, and they come out and they're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. No, that's one thing I really like about it, actually. Because some people I think are like, it's not, people are talking about it. And it's like, yeah, but dude, you don't get it. Like, most of those people wouldn't go to our shows anyways. Like, unless, depending on where you are, whatever. But it's just cool that I feel like that's a good spot to, I don't know. It's nice because you have all those younger people that may have no clue, but then they're like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. What is this?
We're super lucky with that room because there's just such a built-in crowd. And if people walk through the club and they're not into it, they can go upstairs to 4 other bars that they may like.
Right.
And the people who are upstairs at those bars can go downstairs and on most nights just watch free live music.
Right. Yeah, because you can see, and the other thing too is that you can just walk in.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, there's not always, you don't have to get a table, which you can. But whatever, you get what I'm saying. But I think it's cool, man. I mean, I think that introduces people to. It's gonna introduce people to music that they may not, or a scene or people like whatever that they may not have. I think you're helping cultivate the scenes. What I'm saying.
And I think getting some of the big bands in there was very cool and something that I definitely. It was proposed and maybe the thought had crossed my mind, but I was like, how are we going to do it?
Yeah. And
then we did it for the first time and, we recorded the session and got in there and like mic'd everything up and I think it was just a matter of figuring out where people were going to go on stage.
Right.
And
it worked though. Like, I mean, that's the thing, man. You see some of these epic clubs in New York where they do every Monday there's the Vanguard band and it's like on this tiny stage. Like they make it work. Like it's sick. So I think it's cool, man.
It's cool that we have like such a variety of stuff that comes in there.
Right. No.
I feel like our weekends are pretty balanced in terms of what we're getting.
No, dude, I think you do a good job of like I feel like you're doing a good job of like helping put SD on the map. That's the other thing is like people, they see it through, cause I think I even saw like, that's a good example of like the Cherokee thing. Cause I remember like the other morning I saw like my friends are posting these videos and like, I kind of had glanced and seen it, but I didn't realize it to the full extent really. But you're right. Like people seeing that kind of stuff, especially like trying to bring other people from out of town just to see that spot.
Yeah.
Because like every time someone comes there that hasn't been there, like some of the LA guys or whatever, like what the hell? They walk in like Canner did that. I mean, all of them, everyone that's come down has done that so far. But Kiefer, you got to go. You're next. Hit him up. It's cool, man. What's it been like? Like, I always find it interesting, like, because I'm on the music side, right? I'm always like booking the stuff, whatever, playing. But I feel like some of the musicians don't see the other side, which would be your side, or just like running the place, or like things that like, I don't know. I feel like I hear sometimes like people like kind of complaining, and it's like, but guys, you don't understand, like that to be on that side too is a whole nother thing. Like, what is that like? You don't have to get into details, but like I'm asking kind of like, I feel like there's an art to kind of doing, there's an art to what you're doing. And like, I feel like you're pretty good at it. You're not going to please everyone, but who cares?
Yeah, it's tough too, because even when we started out, I went from working in this very, very high volume bar to sitting in Lulu's by myself for 6 weeks on my computer, just figuring out how to open a music venue.
I remember when you were doing that. Yeah, you were like, dude, we're just going for it. Yeah. Jazz prove it.
So between just like a ticketing platform and like how shows would work, scheduling, booking,
all the logistics that make it happen. Yeah.
And I had 6 weeks to figure out programming before we opened.
Right.
And nobody knows anything about the club. There's no notoriety. And the best thing you can do is just to like start kind of cold calling people, which is what I did for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was just like, hey, I know you're one of the guys. Like, come check this out. Let's chat. And, let's.
I remember I was like, what the hell?
And here we are now.
And Gil, I mean, you probably had a handful, but see, that's the thing is that you're good. I feel like, dude, some of these places, and I don't want to name places, but like, I feel like some of these places that like book stuff, they're so out to lunch sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just feel like you have an idea, like you have your thumb on the pulse of the scene and just music. You're already in it. You kind, like you're saying, you know, Jake, you had already naturally been a part of that. Like you came to Blind Lady, you know who Gilbert is and whoever the hell else. Like that, I feel like that's why it's working too, though.
I think I just wanted to curate this place like, or in the sense of a New York style jazz club.
Right. Okay.
Because we have all of these rock venues in town,
which are cool.
And, you know, and we've all played there before. And, you know, there's a whole show bill, but like for the sense that there's one featured artist that's going to play. Mm-hmm. And like in hindsight, yeah, you're playing for what, 2.5 hours total of just runtime. Mm-hmm. But someone is just coming to see you. There's not like a list of bands where like someone's going to come show up from 8 to 8:30 and then they're out.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
They come for a first set and then whatever, they can go upstairs to the lobby, get something, and then come back down if they want.
Yeah.
So,
or you could just chill at the bar, like
yeah.
And I like it because the sound, you guys mix the sound, so it's like anywhere you are, you really can see it. Because you may not want to be right up front.
Yeah,
and you may not, like we kind of learned this on New Year's, but like you may not want to be right up in the whole thing of it. And it's like you could be in the back chilling with your friends at the little table, and you can chat, but you could still hear and see.
Totally.
Like I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is nice. So just to have the option, and we have so many different floor plans of how we can run the room. We could have a seated jazz show. We can clear everything out and just like pack people in and just create this kind of sea of people for the band to engage with. So,
and those guys, whoever's running, I mean, I feel like they're open to, you know, whatever, because you guys have slowly, like you got I mean, you obviously had the sound system, but I mean, you're like getting it dialed. I feel like it's more dialed every time.
Yeah, we kind of came into it installed and kind of how it was designed, and there were some things that Sean and I kind of played with and some things that worked and didn't, and just trying to perfect it. And then 3 months into everything, we got new speakers.
Right.
And, you know, those are great sounding speakers, but they have their issues of their own. So hopefully sometime this year, we're going to have like a whole permanent install of new speakers that will be the test of time for that room.
Right. Okay. I see what you mean. So that's funny. This was just kind of like you didn't even mean to, really.
No. I didn't ask for it. But and it's funny too, man. I look back and like the first 6 months, I really struggled because it was just a new job and it was a really cool opportunity, but I also had no idea what I was doing. I've never done this before.
And I've
never done like talent buying, and like you just got to research and you talk to people and, you know, get advice or.
And what are the guys up top telling you? Are they telling you much of anything?
I mean, I have like a budget to work within for the night, and, you know, I can kind of see how successful the shows are. So, the flip side of it is they presented this option of like all of the shows are going to be free, which I completely understand because people come in and they're doing all of our marketing.
I mean, honestly, I think that's a big part of it, because like we were saying, when you're there, you see all these girls come in, they're taking a photo, it looks cool, and it's like, I get it.
And it just gets out to the world very quickly.
But see, honestly, I mean, I like that though. That's genius. Like it's.
But we've also noticed that some of the things that we booked demand a little bit more of an attentive audience.
Okay. Yeah.
And your everyday person coming to the hotel may not be going to see you know,
I get you.
Maybe something on the quieter side, or you know, some big talent, but
right.
The stage is also so funny, which is something that we haven't really talked about too. Is like,
Okay, let's jump into that.
How what you hear in the room is not what the musician's experience is at all.
Right.
And all of the chatter from the back of the room and all of that noise just goes and collects on stage.
It does, yeah, for sure.
So you can hear just everyone.
You just hear that roar of
and it's loud.
Yeah, so there is something to that. Like, but what's cool is you can't. So let me ask you: when you did the Charles show, Charles McPherson, what was that like? Was there still that hum? Because I didn't get to go.
So it was ticketed,
right?
And I think everyone who bought a ticket, knows what they're going to see,
right,
and is not going to have that idea that it's okay to just talk during a show of a jazz legend.
No, I get you. Yeah.
So I think if we were to make it free for everyone and people were to come in and be like, who's this guy?
Right.
Then they can have their own conversation and scream in the back of the bar and you know, do
I get you.
What kids do.
Yeah.
So
I see. But at least you have the option. I mean, that's cool because you can on certain ones, like you're saying.
Yeah, and I think that's just kind of goes back to curation of like what.
It doesn't have to be every night.
Correct.
But if you have.
What would work for this?
I get you.
Or like, you know, how. Just trying to see the room in different ways and have people get different experiences out of the same room.
Okay, so have people like found this place that don't live in San Diego that you've heard of? Like, oh, like we've heard of this, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure people hit you up now.
I think so. And I don't know specifically for Lulu's, but the hotel one.
Oh, right. Yeah, tell us this, yeah.
I remember the guys coming through because I was still at Part-Time Lover.
Okay.
And
who is it again?
Esquire magazine.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And Esquire magazine came through, and you know, we get the heads up, hey, so and so's coming through, like just take care of these guys. And they stayed at the hotel.
Okay.
And I remember them coming into Part-Time Lover. They checked out the bar, had some drinks.
And
like,
are they just normal looking people?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so
you'd
never
never know.
Customer. You would never know.
Yeah, you'd never know. But you know, they come in, you greet them at the door, and say, you know, if there's anything you need.
But you know who they are.
Yeah, we get a heads up.
But they're not like rolling in with like clipboards and shit.
No, not at all. It's I think for them, it's, you know, they're probably taking notes, but it's definitely more of just
you're in the experience.
Yeah, their overall experience.
I see. No, that's cool.
So I was not a part of the hotel at this time, but they went through. I don't even think Lulu's was open at this time.
Wow.
So they came through, and the Lafayette or Esquire named the Lafayette #1 hotel, United States, North America.
I think it was North America, you said.
So I'll have to double check, but
yeah, I can't remember now.
It's been a while since that article came out. It was sometime last year.
So that's crazy. It wasn't even with Lulu's included. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's wild.
So that was huge for the hotel, and Lulu's wasn't even a thing yet. I don't even think it was announced.
Huh.
So I think there's
crazy.
still people that are coming in, and every time that people play, like Jonathan Carant is playing on Friday, and I told you, like, he has people
he has his own,
come from all over,
like Palm Springs and shit, Vegas, I'm sure.
Yeah, just his little built-in crowd will follow him, and he'll post from his last show, and they're like, oh, I want to go see you at this place. It looks cool.
Right.
So, and that's great for the hotel business.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's sick.
A lot of different iterations of people coming through in different ways.
Nice. That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
What would you, if it was up to you, what would you like? Is there anything that you would be like, yo, we should? I feel like you get to try because it sounds like you can kind of like, yo, we should try this.
Yeah, we have pretty much free reign on.
Because you guys are doing the comedy show too, though, right? Isn't there like?
Yeah, we're doing comedy shows, and those have been going well. But there's There's a couple of things that I have ideas for the room that I don't know if I am fully prepared to share.
Yeah, no worries. You don't
yet.
have to. Yeah, that's fine.
But we can chat offline about it. But I think I'd rather have it be a surprise for when it drops. But I'm talking about just like dark days for the club now, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like could be a special kind of dinner night or like just a different kind of experience.
Right.
So there's some plans to fill out the schedule that's not necessarily live music, maybe more theatrical or maybe different altogether.
Okay.
But still has like the food and beverage included in it. So,
I've never been there on like a dinner night.
You should come.
Like what? Because who's the chef? Like what is that like? The food like?
We have Chef Ted Smith.
I don't know anything about food, and I just know like if it's good.
He ran the diner upstairs, and he is about to go on and do some other projects. So as far as I know, he's out of the hotel now, and he's moving on. He's going to redo the menu at Craft and Commerce, and then he'll be at Starlight for the reopen, which should be in a couple of months.
Wait, they're closed
for remodel.
Oh, I didn't know. So wait, CH owns that too? Holy hell. These guys are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Dude, that's crazy. You know what's funny though? It's like my lady loves that place.
Yeah.
It's like, but they're doing something right because they get people to like, they get cool spots. Like,
I haven't seen the inside yet, but I've heard crazy things.
I mean, it was already cool.
Yeah. And apparently it's cooler now. Okay. However that works, but
these guys are interesting.
They always find a way.
So you don't have to tell me who these guys are, but like, have you got to interact? I mean, obviously you've interacted somewhat.
Very minimally, and everyone is super cool. Like I've met the lead designer and
like the head honcho guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, he comes through the club, and it would still be like just the person who just walks in. He's kind of got his arms folded, and he's just kind of looking around, and he'll just give you a little nod. Or like, sometimes he's just in and out and you don't even know.
Okay.
But
that's what I would do.
But yeah, super good rapport, and I feel like I could reach out to him with stuff. And
that's cool. I mean, it shows, dude. I feel like, all those little things like that stuff matters, I mean, those guys are obviously good at it. How many places do they have?
20 something or other.
That's just in SD?
Yeah, and counting.
What do they have any other like somewhere else?
No.
It's all focused here.
It's all San Diego.
Oh, okay.
But there's still stuff in the pipeline.
That's
and
crazy.
Like under construction.
These guys are just
and like
savages.
To be open, and it keeps going.
That's crazy. I mean, hey, they're doing something right, dude. That's tight.
So it's cool to be a part of it and just kind of like in the family, I guess.
Yeah.
And get the little sneak previews,
right.
And just to be in the know.
No, that's sick, dude. I think it's cool, man.
And a couple of years ago, it's not what I thought I would be doing.
It's like it's not even close. Like you would have never even thought like, oh, I'm gonna go apply, let alone apply it to something like that. But I mean, you felt it in the force, bro. You felt it.
I'm super grateful, and it's interesting to go in there day after day and, treat it just as like a punch in, punch out kind of role. But, some days are harder than others, and other days, like the place just fills out and you kind of just look around and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's sick, dude. Well, you're killing it.
Thank you.
You're doing a good job, dude.
I appreciate it.
I think it's tight. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy because especially like doing that role, everyone's trying to get a hold of you probably all the time, everywhere.
My email is tough sometimes. And, I did the math on this, and, everyone who has played there wants a repeat date. And there's so many people who just hit me up and they're like, hey, when can I get a date? Preferably a weekend.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I get just...
Dude, I can only imagine.
All walks of everything. And some people will just send me an email like, hey, let me know when I can get a date. And there's no music, there's no photos, there's no links. Yeah. And I'm just like, who
are you?
Besides the name that comes through next to your email address, like, what?
Right. No, I get it.
I
mean, dude, I could only imagine just from like me booking the gigs that I do and dealing with people, and like people call me, hey, can I get on about it? Which is fine, but I can only imagine.
The rotation has been moved out pretty far. I mean, I was telling you we're like repeat dates are like six to 8 months out now.
But it's whatever, dude. You guys but it's cool because that means you're getting a variety of people to where it's like it's always going to be something. Like I'll check, obviously who's playing. Like, oh shoot, so and so's here.
And there's some capacity where I think for certain styles of music we can start running, like 2 artists in one night, and somebody grabs an early set, somebody grabs the late set.
Like that's straight New York style.
Yeah, and it's like a planned bill, and then people can kind of come and go as they please. So we're playing around with that. The problem is there's no side stage, there's no backstage. So in terms of like getting gear on and off stage and a changeover,
you're just doing it.
We don't really have anywhere for a second band's equipment to go. Especially for how that place fills out on free nights, or we really need to plan ahead and like figure out a backline situation. And most people are super flexible and happy to do it, but it's been something to think about how to make it easier.
So if you guys did like a 2-set thing, what would it be like? You would do like first set, seated, whatever, tickets, show, and then like you just clear the whole room?
No, I mean we can do that in a different setting, but I think that's what we did for Charles McPherson, and I have a couple plans to try and redo that model this year.
You have to get the right like show.
Yeah. So we open up the doors. We do 1 seated show.
Okay.
It's all ticketed, and we'll run a 70-minute show. And after the show, we clear the room, reset, and then we do it again.
Yeah, I mean that's straight New York style.
Same artist. It can be a different set. It can be the same set.
Right.
However they want to present it. So.
I mean, that's what it'd be like, hey, there's 2 sets, you can buy either one,
And when I started, that was kind of how I saw the room. And, it's just the elevated space. It's like just screams jazz club. And I was like, oh, this would be cool.
Right.
And I think that's what gave me the idea. Just do 1 featured artist, and they'll play 2 sets. And it's like kind of consistent, just on the hour.
Yeah.
So... I think that part has been working.
No, I think it is
so far.
No, for sure, dude.
But like we've tried country in that room, and it works really well. And we get a whole different kind of crowd out, and new people to experience the room, and we can clear all the tables out, and people do line dancing, and it works. So I think for the country nights, though, I'd like to get a couple of different artists in there, and somebody takes the early set, somebody does a late set.
That'd be cool.
And it's more of a bill than it is a feature night.
Okay. So tell me about the spot, because I remember going in that room back in the day, playing gigs in there. And like, if I remember right, that floor wasn't there.
They uncovered the floor.
So that was there, but just it wasn't there.
In the remodel.
Yeah.
So the stage was just flat.
I remember
to the floor. And then apparently during the remodel, they uncovered this 2-step sunken dance floor.
And all that wood was there?
I don't know if it was or not.
Either way,
it could have just been cement.
And they made it, yeah. But either way, it was it was down.
But it was
like
down
it
there.
Is. Wow. And they had just filled it over, whoever beforehand?
I'm not sure if it was just,
I'm
2x4s or whatever, but I'll have to talk to the people in like the phone ops of the hotel, because they have records all the way back to the opening of the hotel. They have like the first guest book when Bob Hope signed the guest book in like 1947, 48. Right.
Because there's like rumors of like who stayed there. I don't know what's true and what's not.
I don't know everything, but there's records of it.
I bet you there's like good folklore for that place.
I got a guy. Next time you're in on like a weekend night,
Okay.
after a set, we got to go find Juan. Shout out to Juan.
Juan, I'm coming to find you. I need some folklore.
But he's got all the stories. And
Okay.
Juan was on the staff before the remodel. He was kind of one of the guys that was carried over
Wow.
from before CH bought
I see.
the hotel.
When did they buy it? What year was it?
I think it was 2020.
Oh shit. Okay.
Or maybe it was like right before 2020, 2019, they acquired it and then...
Right. No, I remember reading about that. It was like a whole thing.
Don't quote me on that. But I remember the entire remodel happened during the shutdown.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
sense.
sense.
And then it reopened 22, 23.
Okay.
And then Lulu's open January 24.
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, because it's only been open, what, a year-ish?
We just
a little
hit
more?
one. First show was January 20th last year. So
Oh, shoot. Whoa.
we just hit 1 year.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, you guys are killing it in 1 year.
But I was telling you, like, in terms of just getting people dates, I was doing the math, and, like, there's 52
52 weeks.
So there's just over 100 weekend dates.
Right.
In
Oh, that's a good way to think about it. I
in a
didn't think
year.
about that. Yeah.
And, like, everybody wants one.
Right. I mean, that's going to go so quick. Yeah.
And
I
it's
see what you mean.
between the local guys, it's between LA guys. We're working
Anyone
with
in
other
town,
promoters. So it's
It's a big puzzle, but that fills up quick.
It
I
just-
see what you mean.
it just goes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And
Yeah, there's
like,
only so much time.
And the more people you talk to and the more emails you get, it's
course.
just like, well, there goes that month. Well, that's out.
But I mean, that's a good problem to have, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, because, yeah, I mean, I can't wait till like Glasper's there.
I am very excited for Blue Note LA.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to talk about. I forgot. So I think that's going to be legit.
Yeah.
And the Blue Whale's there now again.
Yeah.
There's 2 rooms
it's all back.
or something, or 3 rooms.
How does that work? Like LA has Catalina Jazz Club. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh, I saw Chicory Electric Band there.
Oh, sick. Wow.
And it
Is that,
original lineup, it blew my mind. But
they have that spot. Is that the spot wait, what am I thinking of? Okay, anyways, I don't know. I'm getting confused on spots right now.
But yeah, Blue Whale's back, and then Blue
So
Note
this Blue Note's coming, huh?
LA. It's supposed,
I heard about it.
I mean, it was announced, and it's supposed to open early 2025. But programming is all Glasper,
Wait, what do you mean? He's the one, he's like the booker?
apparently.
Oh, that's legit. I mean, I'm not surprised.
No,
I mean, that makes
and then
sense.
they have like they're able to work with Hollywood Bowl and do productions through there as well.
Right.
So it should be a cool place to go and do a little R&D.
Right.
Because I just went to Blue Note New York for
Okay.
the first time this year.
Oh, wait, yeah, let's talk about this. Because
Yeah.
didn't you? All right, I forgot. I'm glad. See? You're hired, dude. So what did you do? You went on this trip. Was this... Well, you explain it. What was it?
I went to New York in May of last year, 2024.
And was this shits and giggles, or is this partially...
Yeah, my girl had lived there for 6-7 years.
Okay.
And it was like, I want to go back and like see some old friends and like see some old spots.
Right.
And I was just like, well, I haven't been to New York as an adult. So if you want to play tour guide, like, let's go.
Okay.
So we went out there. We stayed in Williamsburg, which is like the North Park, like it's
Right,
just
it's
like
like
the
the
hip
hipster, yeah.
spot to be, and it was probably one of the best trips that I've ever had.
Sick. Okay.
And I don't know, especially coming into the restaurant group, I was telling you there's like all these 50 best bars in
Right.
North America or the world, and New York is just a hub for all these places.
Right. Yeah, I'm not
So
surprised.
there was some check marks or some new bars that we wanted to go check out and experience.
And is this just... She just knows where to go, or is this like recommendations from like
100%
the scene?
knows where to go.
Wow. But she's in that scene. She just
But she's
knows.
in the scene. Like
Okay.
the last year to 2023, she went to New York to accept the award for 19th best bar.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, or she told us.
Yeah, and she's in the restaurant group too. So not only did she live here or live there for years, but
is she from there?
No,
she's from here,
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And then moved to New York. And then to San Diego.
I see. Okay.
So
you guys are there. You're checking out all the cool spots.
And
where'd you go?
We went to the spot called Overstory. That's this #1 best bar in the world.
Okay.
Or in the United States. I gotta check my facts. I don't remember.
Was it sick?
Yeah, it's just like, at the top of the financial district. So you're on like the top floor. You can see the whole skyline, all the bridges, and it just wrapped all the way around. So you can see everything.
Okay.
And from service to the menu to the cocktails, the whole experience was just top to bottom incredible.
So it's #1 for a reason.
Yeah. And then we went to this place that was highly recommended called Super Bueno.
That name is hilarious.
And you go and ask like, hey, what do you recommend? Like, what do we get?
Okay.
You got to get the vodka soda.
Okay.
Which in the service industry is like the easiest, like what's so special about that?
Right.
And then you look at the menu and there's these infusions and juices and one of the best cocktails I had all trip.
That's funny.
And it's so funny to tell someone who's in the industry like, hey, you got to go to this place and get a vodka soda.
Right, because it would be like, no, I see you mean.
Nah, I'm good. I can go get that anywhere. No,
you don't understand.
Go to Super Bueno and get the vodka soda. And then we ended up going to Blue Note because while we were planning the trip, I looked and I was just like, man, who's playing? Because we were out there for like Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
So the Tuesday we were out there. Carl Denson.
Oh, wow.
It's Tiny Universe is playing.
Hilarious.
And I was just like, we should consider this as an option.
Okay.
Because I had always wanted to go to Blue Note. It was always top of my list. And I saw the show a week later. Ricky G is in line at Lulu's with his guitar on, backpack style. And I was just like, hey, I know you. And we just started chatting and talking about the show. And so I ended up buying tickets and we went to the show. And it was just cool to go out and then,
you see,
after the show, you just, a little high five. Hey, good show. It's like funny to see you
that's
all the way across the country.
I love it. Yeah.
So it was a good time.
But see, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you're actually into that shit.
Yeah. And one of the best sounding venues. Really?
I've never been to Blue Note
that I've ever been to. Okay. It was just crispy.
Okay.
And everything was tight. It was a good mix. The band was killer.
Right.
I mean, like, it was just everything all fell right into place.
Sick, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's tight. What about like? Wait, didn't you guys go overseas too, though?
Yeah, we did a trip to a buddy of mine got married in Paris.
So do you go back and tell like the guys like, yo, I went and saw blah blah blah, and I saw that, and like we should maybe do this or not do, or how does that work? Like, because you're obviously getting ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that I'm keeping the ideas to myself, but it's more like just kind of
you observe.
Yeah, it's more research for how I can implement what these guys are doing in our format.
Yeah, I see what you mean. No, that's sick. Okay.
It's not like we can like rewrite the book and change everything, but
what's like one thing? It could be tiny, like the cups do what, I don't know. I'm just making shit up, but like
I think it's just how we can serve like this kind of small bites menu and offer food in situations where we want to flip the room. And I think that's a lot of what I'm looking at, of just this kind of sequence of service from the kitchen and how someone can come for a 70-minute show, order drinks and dinner, and then the whole club is cleared.
I see.
And then they do it again.
See, I feel like that's, I mean, you got to have everything down to,
So
that's not easy.
I mean, in the first year of us doing this, like, Gil just has been shredding tickets.
So Thursdays is what that
is
is.
on these dinner shows.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we have to plate. It's a prefix menu. So essentially, we set out the menu beforehand, and people make their selections, which is great for the chef because the chef can see kind of what's coming through.
Right.
We can plan our ordering.
Right. It's not just night of 10 minutes before, or they order and then,
Right.
No,
and especially for the fact that we're really only doing dinner once every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the kitchen's not open any other time.
Yeah, most of the time I don't see it open.
So it's almost treated like this special event.
Okay.
But
so you're just observing.
But for us to plate 150 people, it's
that's
like
a lot.
For us
Jesus.
to do it in 75 minutes for 5 courses.
I mean, how many people does that take though? That's insane.
We'll have a team of, I mean, with the bar staff, we'll have 15 guys on staff.
Wow. Okay.
Between just like people who are bartending, running drinks, running plates.
Right.
I'm just down to dishwashers.
Cooks,
I'm not even including the kitchen on that. I'm just kind of front of house.
Okay.
So, it's a big operation.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think that sometimes people, like, not everyone, I'm just saying on my, I think sometimes you don't see all that. So you're like, oh, where's my boat? And it's like, guys, relax. Like, there's a lot of other stuff going on besides.
It's coming, but it may not be in 30 seconds from your initial complaint.
I feel like some of the musicians can be sort of divas, dude. It's kind of funny because like
I think not anybody can
that's
be
true.
like that,
Right.
So it's just
I see it on my
handful
end,
of situations that can yield a certain kind of result.
Yeah, and I get you.
But I think that's one thing that I kind of want to lean into this year of how we can incorporate a menu for ticketed shows that we're going to do like 2 shows in one night. And, how can we just maximize this experience over just sending out drinks? Or there's just a drink menu. All right, you get 2 drinks. But, a lot of these jazz club have like a 2-drink minimum.
Right, yeah, that's what they all do. Yeah.
Come in, it's like,
yeah, what 2 drinks you getting?
yeah.
I love when they ask you
Ahead of time?
Yeah. Yeah, don't even waste my time. What 2 do you want?
Yeah, can you just get this over for me and I'll just send them out when I see that you're low on one.
Yeah, I actually like it because you don't have to like.
It is. It makes sense, but
that's funny.
But yeah, and then there's another kind of dinner service that I'm trying to plan.
Okay.
But that's like I'm in the very very beginning stages of that. This is going to take a little bit more like theatrics and be more of a show and presentation than it will be like a live music setting. But
I get you.
Still I think would be a fun experience. So.
Okay, what about not Lulu shit? Like, what are you doing? What else are you into? I know you like. You played like? Did you play like a lot when you were younger, growing up? Do you still play? What are you doing in terms of that stuff?
I have all the stuff. Like, I got a group of friends that I play with. It's funny because we're in like the end of January right now, and every year I do like a bunch of St. Patty's Day gigs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's like be like old pub rock and like Irish punk rock.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think last year we did like 3 or 4 gigs in 2 days.
Okay.
And it's just fun.
Wait, when's St. Patty's Day?
March 17th.
Okay. All right.
So it's a guy that I've played music with for years. It's like him and he has 3 brothers.
Okay.
And their dad had like this dad band called the Shamrockers.
Shamrockers, sick name.
and it was a bunch of guys that worked at the city, and it was just, like just a hobby for them. And
Sick.
And they played all the parades and like all the festivals, and now they're like passing the torch to his son.
Okay.
But it's cool to get up there with like a bunch of brothers who are just playing, kind of like just following the lineage of, something their dad started, and just to watch the connection on stage between all these brothers and just be in the background of that.
Right. Okay.
But also it's just like a good time to just hang with your buds and just
that's
have
sick.
some drinks and play some music.
So what kind of songs are they? Because I'm into that. Like, are they just old school? Like,
yeah, I mean, like I used to do like a little trio of this with some friends, and it would be like Thin Lizzy and them, just like a lot of UK bands.
wow, I don't know any. Okay.
But then the Irish stuff was like, this year we're talking about doing like a whole Pogues album from front to back.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'll send you
I
some
don't know.
stuff.
Yeah, you gotta school me.
Yeah, it's some.
So wait, is there like straight up like old school Irish like tunes?
Yeah, we'll do like some traditional stuff that's
Sick.
like maybe adapted a little bit more modern.
Okay.
But it's just fun music to play.
Yeah.
So I got the email, and like all of us were grouped in. It was just like, hey, it's St. Patty's Day is around the corner.
Right,
like,
right,
here's a
you
list
getting
of
ready.
songs. Brush up. Like, here's some ideas that we're talking
Sick.
about. So, but I'll play drums for that, and then we'll do like maybe 2 or 3 shows with the same group of guys.
Bro,
and,
you got to play at Lulu's.
And no, I would never book myself. Over
Let
how
me
many
book it. I'll
over
book
how many
it.
emails I get, I
Dude,
could never
hell yeah.
I could never do it for myself. And also like just the caliber of people that we get, I'm just not that caliber, man. I'm just more of like a hobby kind of like, I'm just going to maybe do this a couple times a year.
I think it's sick.
But y'all are, this is a living for you. Like,
Hey, you're gonna come and play one day. I'm gonna call your ass up.
dude, and I want to talk to you about this because I want to come play, but I know the tunes, but I don't know like the name. I don't know the tune to the name of the song.
Right,
so
right,
if somebody
I get you.
calls something, like I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know what is
No,
going
I'll show
on.
you because
And,
you
like,
hear them though.
Yeah, and the forms of just like how
Right.
everyone has their conversations. So
But you know what? I bet you'd be surprised because you're around it so much, especially now.
I think I could pick it up, but I just need to know how it works.
Okay.
Because I can hear how it works, but if somebody was just like, "Hey, you're up,"
Okay, I get you.
I
No, we'll
probably
prepare.
piss some
We'll
people
prepare.
off. Yeah,
This will be good.
but I definitely want to get back into playing more.
Sick, dude. I like. You know, it's funny. I was playing with Willie the other day. He's like a trombone singer. You know who he is.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, dude, I want to play some like. He's basically just doing like rootsy like country stuff, and we were playing through some of it because he's got like a bunch of tunes, and he sounds great singing, and he's playing mandolin and shit. That guy's gifted. And so we were playing, and I was like, bro, sign me up, because I'm just sitting there like chicken picking. I was like, this is blues. This is just blues music.
That's a lot of the Irish stuff too. It's
I
just,
love
like,
it.
Just easy form, but like I'm just back there playing drums, just
and it
like
sounds good. It's
just like chipping along.
Yeah.
And if you can play with a little bit of dynamics,
Right.
it sounds awesome.
Yeah. No, I honestly loved it. I was like, especially because like playing all the music I do can be, some of it's like hard sometimes, and you're like, it's fucking stressful. You're like, oh, I gotta make sure I don't fuck this up, But like that stuff, I was like, dude, I could do this all night, bro. Like,
in the Irish band, one of the brothers, his name is Sean. He's a really good friend of mine that I've played music with forever. But during the pandemic, he taught himself Travis picking.
wait, what is that?
It's where it's like you play with the thumb pick.
Okay.
So your thumb is essentially your bass,
Right.
and you're rocking back and forth,
Like
just
a
like fourths.
Okay.
And then your top hand is like playing all the licks.
Oh, so it's like, okay, all right.
So it's almost like
Is that like a banjo type vibe?
yeah,
Okay.
it's like similar to
so that's just like
banjo
shreddy,
rolls.
like
Very much so.
I'm in.
And he'll play it on a nylon string guitar.
Sick.
But he does it for all the Irish stuff because it just bops back and forth. So it works really well for country, but then all the Irish songs too, it like transfers over really well.
Okay.
And it's a fun dynamic in
Hell
the
yeah.
music with a whole bunch of other acoustic
that's
instruments.
sick.
It's fun.
Hell yeah. That's tight. Let me think here. What else?
But like in the free time, like I will just go out on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
ride.
aren't you like riding your bike and shit?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
I grew up in East County, so I'll just
Where'd you grow up in East County?
Rancho San Diego.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm East County.
So it's like between La Mesa and El Cajon.
Yeah. Okay, I know where it is. Yeah, I grew up in Lakeside.
So we'll take it out through like Hamul. Like a lot of my buddies grew up in Alpine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
That's a
I
nice
still
ride.
ride out there.
Yeah.
That's good. A friend of mine who got married in Paris, which
Okay.
was
Oh,
like my
that's
Europe
okay.
trip. He had a bike, and we would go to like Ramona,
Yeah.
Julian.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a nice day
You're
ride.
just cruising.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight.
You know, it's a nice ride.
Huh.
Tecate.
Oh, I can see.
Like
yeah.
down the 94.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cross the border, get some
Yeah.
tacos, come back, cut the whole line.
Right. Oh yeah. Duh. Oh yeah, that's great.
Back by 1, 2 o'clock.
Right. I get you. Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun little afternoon.
That's tight, dude. Hell yeah. That's sick, man. Well, I mean, dude, you're killing it. I think it's great, dude. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to ask you. What do you have on the horizon in terms of like not Lulu stuff, like just like well, you don't have to tell me, but like anything else like on your own personal world. It could be anything.
I don't know.
Or it could be nothing.
I think I'm trying to travel a
Okay.
little bit more. And
Where do you want to go?
I want to go. I was talking about this with Bailey yesterday of just like, we need to kind of prioritize our travel wants and where we want to go. But Denver's on the list. I want to get back to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I played South by in like 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and I got some buddies that live out there.
I mean, that's the new comedy scene, bro.
Yeah. So it would be cool to spend a couple of days out there and just kind of see what's changed. Because when I was there, all the high rises were going up. There was so much construction.
I'm sure it's crazy now.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's nothing like I remember it.
Yeah, that's one spot I've been wanting to go. I've never been to Texas, so
It should be a good trip.
nice.
My uncle lives up in northern Wisconsin,
Oh shoot, okay.
and I want to get back up there, but he's just so far out in the boonies that
Really?
I would have to do a flight to like St. Paul or Milwaukee and then do a jumper flight
Oh whoa.
into a city closer to him, and then it's
And then
still
drive.
and then it's still an hour to his
So
place.
wait, he's just in the sticks or what?
He's 10 minutes from the Michigan border.
Okay.
So yeah, he's in the sticks. It's one of those places where it's just like backcountry. There's lakes, and you go into a bar and you ask for their Wi-Fi, and they laugh at you. But
That's great.
but it's such. I've been there a handful of times, maybe 3 times. It's right on the lake, and we just go out and fish and bar hop.
So it's like wilderness.
100%.
Oh, yummy. Okay.
So, you know,
Is it on like a dirt road?
no, but it's like it's just your highway is just two
Just
lanes.
going in the middle. Yeah.
It's
okay.
2 lanes.
get
I
you.
mean, there's just trees
Sick.
everywhere. And
See,
then
that-
there's like
yeah.
all these tiny little lakes, so you can kind of jump around.
Oh, okay.
And then there's obviously like fishing and water sports in the spring and summer, and then the whole lake freezes over, and they do snowmobiling.
Oh shoot.
And over the highway, there's like signs for snowmobile crossing over this 2-lane highway.
Oh, so like you'll see fools like crossing. Like, be
Yeah,
careful.
and that's like the way to get around is
Oh,
just
whoa.
on snowmobiles, and people are doing that instead
there's-
of driving,
Oh shit. So there's snow everywhere.
because they'll get like feet, like
Oh, okay.
many feet of snow.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't even know what that's like.
So, but he'll just send me pictures, and he's just kind of out in the wilderness and sets out all these little feeders for deer and animals, and
Wow.
He's got all these little action cams that he'll send me photos of.
Well, someone's telling me. We're back.
And we're back.
We're going up to, where were you going? To Wisconsin? Where was it?
Yeah, northern Wisconsin.
Holy hell, I'm already cold. Okay. So that's sick. So it's your uncle?
Yeah. It's my mom's brother.
Hell yeah.
And this guy is like, he's like the second coming of Rodney Dangerfield. but cool. And not as obnoxious, but man, like some things that he says, I'm just like, yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just like what he says and just inflection, but he's always been just that cool uncle, you know?
Okay, wow. That's funny. My sister just had a kid, so I'm an uncle now.
Congrats, dude.
So I feel like I want to be the cool uncle.
Nice, dude. I have a niece and nephew and another niece
So you have
on the way.
Oh wow. So wait, how many siblings do you have?
Just my sister.
Okay. All right. So is she older or younger?
She's 3 years older.
Older, okay. So you're the little baby.
Yeah.
So where do your folks live? Where are you guys from? You're from
you
said Rancho is where you're
Yeah,
okay.
So both my sister and I were born and raised in San Diego, but my parents both grew up in South Side of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And then
So interesting. Bailey's from Chicago too?
yeah.
That's hilarious.
And it's funny, like we were both working for the restaurant group, and I came in to like a financial meeting that both of us attended.
Okay.
And I was wearing a Portillo's sweatshirt.
What is that? I don't know this.
It's an Italian beef sandwich and hot dog shop that started in Chicago.
Okay.
And has since like just branched out and changed
So it's a very
everywhere.
yeah, I see.
And I wore it, and she's like, "How the hell do you know about that?"
That's funny.
Because not a lot of people know about it. People should know about it.
Okay. What is it called?
Portillo's.
Portillo's. Okay. We're gonna. Oh man. Okay.
It's so good. And they have like beef to go.
Oh.
So you can buy like beef and gravy. They sell the bread. They sell the peppers. So it's like you can go and buy it there, or they just do catering style, and you just take it all home and just party.
That's hilarious. Okay. Well, at Rosie's, it's like a Chicago vibe.
Yeah.
Like pub.
Yeah, it's a Chicago bar.
But there's Kevin. What was Kevin? Higuchi was telling me something last night. He's like, "Oh, you gotta give him something. It was some kind of drink." And I was like, "Bro, I don't know what the hell you're talking about."
Malort.
Yeah, how'd you know? Jesus.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a beer? Is it an alcohol?
No, it's I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's like Fernet.
Oh, okay, that's totally Kevin too. Yeah,
but it's like it's not good.
It's wait, what?
It's not good.
Okay,
like,
that's what they were saying.
Intentionally.
Yeah, they
like,
had that.
I don't know. Well, I don't know intentionally or not, but like if you've never had it, it's one of those things. It's just like, hey, try this. Like it's a Chicago thing.
It's funny because for how long I've been in there over the years, I was like chilling, the jam was going, and I was just in the back, and then I saw up on the wall, whatever that word is, and I saw a post, not a poster, but a whatever the hell. It was a thing up there.
It's like a neon sign.
Yeah, whatever, a sign, something, and I was like, oh shit, okay, there it is. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. That's funny you say that, but yeah, okay, that's hilarious. So Chicago, okay,
yeah,
I've never been to Chicago.
It's cool.
They got a cool scene there, though, right? For music, no? Or yes, no?
Yeah, I think I mean, I can't really speak. When I have visited, it's mostly like to see family, so I'm not really in the city.
Okay.
There was one time we went and we stayed like right on Michigan Avenue, but we were only there a couple of days. Like I went and saw the CSO.
Okay. What is that?
Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
Ooh.
But I didn't really go to any shows, but we stopped by like Buddy Guy's Blues Bar.
Oh shit!
And you know it's
hell yeah,
it's cool, but I didn't really kind of go to venues or clubs or explore it in that way. I was probably like my early 20s, and I was there for not long enough to see anything.
Okay.
But my parents have like some old school spots that they like. Like there's Aurelio's Pizza. but like Chicago pizza is like, you know, very much like.
Isn't that they have the?
They get the deep dish.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. I like deep dish. What's the one here that does that? Lefties? Or no, wait.
Lefties, yeah.
Is that the one that does it?
I think so. I don't know, man. I'm not getting deep dish all the time. It's
okay,
like,
yeah. I'm just trying to think.
It's good, but it's a chore to eat it.
That shit is hilarious. Oh, God. That's funny. Okay. So your folks are from Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you guys are Irish?
Yeah. Irish, Welsh.
So wait, didn't you guys go?
We went to Ireland.
So what was that like? Tell me. You told me a little bit, but you said you liked it.
The best part of the trip.
Wait, why? What did you like so much?
So our trip was Paris, London, and Ireland.
Okay.
And Paris was cool, and it was my first time to Europe, period.
Okay.
So everything was just new and fresh, and like, especially in Paris, you know, just a nice dose of culture shock.
Yeah.
Because not everyone speaks English.
It's just different.
Yeah. It was, but it was fun, and it was also cool being there and halfway across the world, and all of your buddies just roll up to a bar because they're all there for the wedding. So like all the guys you grew up with,
of course,
just like,
that's hilarious.
you know, walk down this road, and we're like, you know, right on the river, and
oh wow,
you know, next thing you know, there's like 20 of the kids that you grew up with in Paris.
That's kind of sick, actually.
It was,
yeah, that
it
would
was
be
super
tight.
cool. And the wedding was on a boat, and it just went all the way down.
Wow.
All the way down the river, just like right in front of the Eiffel Tower. It was
sick. Wow.
Very,
Boozing it up.
very picturesque.
Nice.
But it was small and
That's sick.
quaint and fun, and just
Hell
like the
yeah.
right amount of people. And then after the wedding that night, like we went out and we went to a club that Gilbert recommended called Le Duc.
Okay.
Which was a jazz club.
It was tight.
It was cool.
Nice.
There was another bar that Bailey wanted to check out, but as we were walking to this place, we passed the jazz club.
Oh.
And we looked, and we're like, oh, I wonder if this place is going to be open later. And from midnight to 4 a.m., there's an open jazz jam.
Oh, dude, sign me up.
And I'm like, wow, it's going late.
That's crazy.
So we go and we like have a drink at this other bar, and they close at 2 regular time, and we come back, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the place is packed.
Yeah, honestly, we need a late night spot here.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that.
But I just don't know.
No one goes.
Yeah.
It's too fucking late.
Right. And everyone has to close by 2 o'clock anyways.
I didn't think about that.
It's
anyways, yeah, okay.
like,
So wait, you're there at 1 a.m.?
we will go at 1 a.m. I got pictures,
prove it.
or I got a video, and this bass player was just out of control.
Wait, who was playing? Would I know? Was it just like locals?
Yeah, it was locals, and it was just a jam.
Okay.
People just showed up and sat in,
Sick.
and it was just fun to just be in a new setting and a new country and just listen to people play.
What are they playing? Like, did you recognize some of the tunes?
Nah.
You didn't? Okay.
Nah, I wish.
Okay.
But, you know, it was like classic trio, 2 horns, quintet.
Sick.
So, but
What's it called?
Le Duc.
Okay.
But we were in Paris for just a couple of days. We did some touristy stuff, and then we took the train to London, and then we were right in Covent Garden, so we were pretty central to most stuff. But
Okay.
One of the spots was Ronnie Scott's.
Oh yeah, that's a yeah, of course.
And I got tickets to a show, which ended up being the grand reopening of the club after this huge remodel.
Oh whoa!
And it was the first night that they had a show, and
dude, your timing's impeccable.
unreal. And we show up, and like the guy in like all these kind of classic jazz clubs, someone will go up and like talk to the crowd and
Right.
introduce the band. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Now coming to the stage.
Right.
And the guy's kind of talking about like, yeah, we've been closed for months. We've done all these renovations. We hope you like it. The sound guys are super happy. They have a whole new sound system.
Right.
And the band was this like Philly soul tribute night. And it was awesome.
Sick.
And like Bailey and I Bailey probably knew more tunes than I did, but it was just like those recognizable songs, and like the whole place was into it, and just like on their feet at their table, just like dancing, clapping. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
And then
so that's in London.
That was in London. We were there for like 5 days, and I mean, at the end of London, I was just like, this pound is killing me. This whole conversion is like not working in my favor. But like between just like meals and like you stop somewhere, like, oh, there's a record store, like let's go peek,
right?
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Just getting drinks at the club, and so we went back to we flew to Ireland, and I rented a car.
Okay. So
before, we were just kind of all public transit between Paris and London, and then I rented a car square away in Ireland. Okay. And we flew into Dublin, and we drove all the way up the northern coast. We went down what they call the Wild Atlantic Way. Ooh. And it was such...
wild?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like kind of the rolling hills and like, 2-lane roads, just real curvy.
Like on the coast?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, once you finally get to that, like the west coast of Ireland, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Dublin to Belfast, over to Cork, and then we went down to Galway, and then just drove straight across the island, and then flew back out of Dublin.
Hell yeah.
But the Ireland trip was more like scenic spots.
Okay.
We went to a spot called Giant's Causeway and Sleeve League.
Sick name.
Yeah.
What is that?
You heard of the Cliffs of Moher?
Yeah, I think so.
And like the White Cliffs.
Yeah.
That's like the tourist trap spot.
Okay.
And I was looking it up of just like, where do we go? And everything was just like, don't go to the Cliffs of Moher. It's a trap. They're cool. Go to this spot called Sleeve League, and it is the largest cliff facing in Europe.
Oh, whoa.
I'll show you pictures. It was outrageous.
Hell yeah.
But there's like a bus that takes you up to the top, and then you got to walk like maybe a mile, and it's just a lookout spot.
Sick.
And that's all it is, but it's cool.
Like mad scenery.
Yeah. But the whole island was like that. It was just all green, and it was cool.
Hell yeah. I never been there. That's crazy. Fun. That's sick.
So if you're going to Ireland, at least on the north side of the island, Sleeve League and Giant's Causeway.
Dude, that name is hilarious.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, sick, dude. So you liked Ireland.
Oh, yeah. And as soon as we left, like my girl and I was like, when are we going back?
That's funny. So you just connected with it for, say, your roots.
Yeah.
Your roots just screaming out.
And the people there were just like the perfect combination of like heartwarming and nice and just sarcastic.
Right. Yeah. Because that's
just, we'll just play off your bullshit. Yeah. And just kind of let you have it. But
yeah,
but you got to like play into it.
Yeah. There's
too.
a lot of humor.
They'll go back and forth, but everyone was just super cool.
That's tight.
And you just ask for suggestions, and people have, just a list of like, I wouldn't go here, don't go here. These are the spots.
So obviously you guys stuck out just from the way you talk.
Yeah. What's funny is when we were in London, we got in a couple of Ubers, and 2 or 3 Uber drivers are like, "Oh, so you're from Australia?"
Oh, whoa.
Which is funny because I think for us, we hear like this British and Australian accent, and maybe like could get the two confused, or maybe I do.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
But I got in multiple times. We were asked, "So you guys from Australia?"
Whoa, okay. I would have never guessed that.
Like, what gave it away?
So to them...
How did you know? Yeah, to them, they thought our accent was Australian. Or to at least the 3 people that we got into Ubers with.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I was surprised.
I would have never guessed that.
Same.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
That was an interesting...
Weird. Okay, wow, that's strange. Okay.
Part. She's like, no, we're from California.
Oh, God, that's funny. I feel like, yeah, just to be like Cali people that's just hilarious. No, we're not at all from Australia.
It's funny though, because you tell people you're from San Diego. If you tell people you're from California, they're like, oh. But then you tell people you're from San Diego, they're like, oh yeah, what a nice place. Just the dichotomy is just so different.
You're right. Well, especially when you say LA too.
Or I think people just associate California with
Hollywood.
LA, San Francisco, or Hollywood.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
and just like.
I could see that actually. I mean, most people wouldn't know about San Diego, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. That's cool. Australia, dude. That's throwing me. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Same.
And someone asked me, so you're Australian, right? I'd be like, what the? No.
The second time someone mentioned it, both Bailey and I were like, what?
That's funny.
How?
And they just say because of the way you sound, it sounds to them, sounds Australian. Oh, whoa. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. And maybe that was super coincidence of our trip and not anyone else. Or maybe it's like a Midwest twang in our voice, but
that's funny. I love it. That's cool.
It was interesting.
Honestly, it's funny to hear how different people talk. Because the thing is that's what's cool about jazz, well, music, but jazz specifically, is like no matter where you go,
yeah,
they could, when you talk to them, like when I was in Japan for this random gig with Julian and everyone, we were in Tokyo and I was like, yo, I'm going to some jazz clubs. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So I went and found some spots, and obviously I'm American, and you go there and they're all Japanese, so it's obvious that we're different.
Yeah.
But like, and obviously it sounds different when you talk and they talk, whatever. And they speak a lot of English too, but obviously it's different. But then when you sit down and listen to these guys play, if you were to close your eyes, it sounded like you're in New York or LA or here, whatever it is.
Someone made the relation to me a long time ago, and I can't remember who it was, but like that jazz is a conversation.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And everyone has this different voice, and everyone's got something to say, and everyone gets a turn to say something. Mm-hmm. But it's how these people talk to each other and communicate with each other that makes it so different from, even if one person were to be removed from that ensemble and replaced with somebody else, you have a whole new conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And what's cool though is like, I feel like not very many things I'm sure there's a lot of things, but music's cool because, well, specifically jazz, because you can go to any city and be like when I was there, they're like, I sat in, like, what do you want to play? And I don't know.
You sat in Tokyo?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I went to the same place twice. It's called what the hell is it called? The One Spot. I don't know. It's this spot in Tokyo that a lot of people go to. And what's crazy, I didn't even realize it. I wish I would have talked to him more. I saw some guy that I seen at Rosie's or here in San Diego something, and he was this guy. What's his name? Damn, I'm totally blanking right now. I'm blanking on his name. Was it David? I can't remember his name. He's a sax player. Anyways, I recognized him. And I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't think much of it, though. I don't think I talked to him, really. And he ended up vanishing. But, I
Sounds
realized...
like a San Diego guy.
I realized later that, he lives there now. And, it was just such a small world, dude. I was like, what are the chances that you see... I mean, I guess it's high because you're going to a focused jazz club.
Sure.
Anyways. But, I went there 2 nights in a row. And at the second night I was there because I didn't really know where to go. And, I think I just didn't look up spots very well, because whenever I looked up jazz in Tokyo, I couldn't really I found spots, but I didn't find the right spots.
Sure.
Because later on I realized, and I kept seeing video, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't hear about that.
I think that's something that's very referral based.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyways, I found this one spot, so I went there twice, and then I ended up staying they closed the bar down. But I ended up chilling and just playing with these guys some more. No one was there.
Yeah.
And we're just calling tunes. It's they all know the same tunes. They were fucking good, dude. They were so good. And obviously there's different mixtures, but the guys that were go there, and you could tell, I'm like, you guys are here every night, huh? He's like, yeah. And the piano player was like, yeah, I'm an engineer or something. He has a day job. And he just goes there and he was shredding, bro. Yeah. He was we were transposing keys. He was killing it.
Keep your chops up.
It was great. I mean, bro, he was killing it.
Yeah, and that's why I want to get back into it. Since I started working for this restaurant group, I just don't I don't play. And like I've lost that like want to go home and practice.
Right, I
You know,
see.
just because I'm like burnt at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
because you're busy doing shit.
Yeah, and it's just a big change of pace. But
I mean, honestly,
I
bro.
think
Keep going. Sorry.
this year I would really like to get back
should.
to it. I think I need like some better foundation of just like, yeah, I can go home and like pick up a drum pad or like, you know, sit down at my piano and like play scales or whatever. But like, I just need some hard formulas of.
All right, we're gonna
Some
jazz prove it. I
advanced-
got you, dude. I'll show you. You already know all these drummers, bro. You just gotta hit them up.
Yeah.
Zach, come on. Hey, show me something at
Yeah.
sound check.
Let me get a lesson.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I'll pay for it.
There you go. Hit up a Gucci. Anyway, I mean, you know all the drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. I was gonna say something. I forgot. Oh, you know what you need to get. You got to get like you got to get a gig, dude.
Yeah.
Like get like somewhere.
I got to get good enough to get a gig first.
Whatever.
But like I'm just 5 years out of practice.
All
I mean,
right.
not like 5 years ago I was ready to go play jazz
No, I get
shows.
you.
Like this is not
I
the
get
stuff
you.
that I was playing.
But
Like,
you just gotta sit down and play.
right.
Yeah. All right. I want to come to the St. Patty's Day gig.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and just drink beers in the back corner.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo, I can't wait.
They're
Where is
fun.
it gonna be? Because there's a few.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's different this year. There's like, I don't know. One of the brothers is kind of, I don't know, in charge, but he's kind of the liaison of
Yeah.
of the gigs, and one is like a country club in Rancho Bernardo.
Oh, fancy pants.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I played those spots.
But then the other is like McGregor's in Mission Valley.
Sick.
But just like the McGregor's is usually like where we end up.
Yeah,
year
I
after
need that
year.
one. I'm there.
Yeah.
I want to go to that one.
And it's just a fun gig.
Or what about at Old Sod?
We used to do Sod as like a trio.
I haven't been there in years. I got to go in there. I kind of like that room.
I like Sod a lot, but we used to play on that tiny little corner stage.
Right.
And I'd get like a little 3-4 piece drum kit. The bass player would like
Sick,
stand on the
dude.
corner.
Hell yeah.
And Sean, who plays guitar, would just kind of stand in front and sing. And
I like that bar. Like
and we and we would just play in the front for 3 hours.
Sick. That's tight.
It was a fun gig,
Well, Brian, you're great, dude. Thanks for coming.
dude. Thank
Guys,
you.
give it up for him. He's doing a good job.
I gotta say, without Sean Hutchinson,
Okay.
my life would be so miserable. That guy has helped me so much.
Hell yeah.
So if anyone needs guitar repair or
Okay.
is in need of guitar services, Sean just opened his shop.
Right.
So Hutchinson's Music, go look for that guy. He's also
You'll see him at Lulu's.
our sound guy with
Yeah.
the cowboy hat.
He's cool. I like him.
Can't miss him. Sean has been such a huge help in just helping me navigate, or just like a soundboard of just like, is this a good idea?
Right. No, it's good, man.
So without Sean in the mix, I would be so lost.
Okay,
So,
cool. Sean, good job.
Big props to Sean. Thank you, Sean.
What else? If you haven't gone on Lulu's yet, you're blowing it. Go there. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for what you do, man. You're killing
Thanks.
it. You're putting us on the map, dude. So I love it.
Thanks for
You're doing a good job. No, I don't care what anyone's
making
saying.
my job easy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's nice because you're, like I said, you're actually like in that. You're in it naturally. And I think, hey, whoever's running CH, they're hired. Whoever you are, you're doing a good job, bro.
They've been hired for a long time. And they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So
No, they're doing a good job.
you
man.
guys
It's cool.
just keep making me look good, and I won't go anywhere, hopefully.
All right, man. Well, thank you. Thanks for doing this. We'll have you on again. We'll see. If you want to reach out, don't call me. Call this guy. He needs more emails in his life.
Yeah, you can email me. You can get a business card at the front desk of the hotel.
But you know how many people ask me, bro?
A lot.
A lot. And I'm just at the
I can't-
point where I'm like,
I can't,
guys.
with the amount of emails that I get personally, there's somewhere on the website is like an auto reply email. It's just like, if you're trying to get a date, email this guy. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from. And like, just, I just need all the info up front. I think people are just like willy-nilly sending these emails, just like, let me know when I can get a date.
You know what I was thinking the other day? I feel like with all the new, like the new apps and texts and blah, 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 whatever, I'm kind of, I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm a little surprised that like email's still relevant.
I think it's the only way that I can separate my work life from my personal life.
Right.
I think there's like a handful of people who are, you know, who I've just connected with personally, like you, where it's just like, hey, if you need something, just shoot me a text.
Right.
But otherwise, people will text me something, and, you know, after like a whole weekend of shows, I try to take Mondays off, which is also probably the one day of the week that everybody who plays music is like trying to organize their gigs and do their admin stuff. So people are texting me, and I was just like, drop me an email and I'll see it when I get back tomorrow, to work. And then it's just like in my task list of something to do. So if I didn't have email, I would be...
No, I get it. I was just thinking the other day that like, I mean, it's obviously relevant. I don't know, the way I was thinking about it, I was just like, man, I'm surprised that like, yeah, it's just funny because one of my biggest pet peeves, I'm sure this happens to you though, is like when you're going to a gig or like it's, you know, organized and there's a group and like someone's sending out all the info and it's like they'll send it on Facebook Messenger, then Instagram, then a text message, then a group text, then an email. And I'm like, guys, I don't even know where to find the address.
Just one place. Just please centralize
I'm like,
this.
wait, which app is it on?
I don't know who you're talking to.
Bro, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I
don't know how you're booking gigs.
Oh, God, I hate it. I hate it. Because whenever I do, I'm like,
that
guys,
sounds rough.
Morning of, here's all the info. Here's the address, so you don't got to search for the false address. It's not that one. It's the new one. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. All right, Brian, thanks for doing this. Jazz, prove it. You're a legend.
Thank you. This has been fun.
That's it. We're out.